Hello everyone, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Leak season has officially started for Tekken 8. I had a bunch of people in my chat on the stream yesterday saying that we had a couple of characters leaked or confirmed for Tekken 8, and enough people said it that I had to look into the rumors, which I have done. And I think we might have a couple of characters leaked right here, but they're definitely not confirmed, and I'm going to explain why I know that. Now, the character that people were talking about and very surprised by was Alex, who is the dinosaur-looking dude on the screen right here. And it's a little bit surprising because it's an extremely obscure character, but it's also a clone character, right? Because Alex, in case you haven't played the games he has been in, I think he's only been in 3 of them, is basically a complete clone character of Roger and Roger Jr. Some small differences. I think he has like some throws that look different. I remember also because I actually played this as a tag team in Tag 2 because I'm a hopeless troll and hipster. I really liked them. I think there are some really cool ideas in there. But Roger had a slightly longer head, so some of the bound moves were a bit more consistent for combos. I remember that. But it's a Akuma Panda kind of a situation. Now, first of all, the reason I think if we see one of these characters, we might actually see Alex and not Roger is that Harada has tweeted before that he doesn't want to put a kangaroo character in the game because there was a viral video that went around when they were in the development cycle for Tekken 7 of a man punching a kangaroo, and it got a lot of people really upset. And I think that's the kind of thing that Harada worries about, stuff happening on Twitter. I think he could worry more about the balance of the game and how he's selling DLC, but whatever, right? So if they're going to put one of the characters in the game, I think it's much more acceptable to punch a dinosaur than it is to punch an animal that isn't extinct yet. So there you go. I think if we're going to see one of them, it might well be Alex for that reason, even though he is a clone. Or maybe they do some sort of a palette swap, who knows. But I think if it's going to be one of them, it will definitely be Alex, because let's get to the actual leak and the information that we have. So this is what people saw, and this is what got them excited. It's a news article from NHK, which is the Public Access News Corporation in Japan. And they did a piece on motion capture. So they went and met these motion capture artists who are doing moves for games and stuff. And you can tell right here that something that looks a lot like, I think Tekken Wiki calls Alex a dromaeosaur, but something like, some sort of theropod dinosaur, and doing moves for it right here. It doesn't look a lot like Alex, because if you've seen Alex, he's got boxing gloves, he's doing this goofy stance, he's got a rocket stance where he does this, and it's a very goofy looking character that stands basically on its tail, that sort of tripod stance that you have on old shitty dinosaur toys. This looks much more like the real animal. A dinosaur is supposed to have the back parallel to the ground, neck and head forward, and then a big tail to balance the body out. But Alex is like spliced in with human and kangaroo DNA, I think, so maybe that's why he has a little bit more of a human posture. But you can also tell that he has big ass claws in the front, 3 on each hand, which is actually anatomically accurate for a dromaeosaur, I think, so that's pretty cool. But it's not boxing gloves, right? And Alex and Roger have been grappling characters in the past. They spawn off of Armor King because it's Armor King in the lore who taught them how to fight. So they have Giant Swing and Capital Punishment and the Wave Dash. They have Running Exploder. They even have Alley Kicks. It's really a crazy character, right? And that's difficult to do, I think, a grappling character with giant ass claws in front. So if it's gonna be Alex, then it's going to be a heavily updated version of the character that animates differently, has a different default pose, and attacks in different ways. Because if you're going to put those claws in, you definitely want the character to use them when they fight, right? But it's really cool. They got the big tail in the back, and it looks like they're taking it seriously, making this look good. However, I think what a lot of people missed when they read this article was that this team are doing motion capture for Tekken 8, but not exclusively Tekken 8. And I've read the article, I have the benefit of being able to do that, and there's nothing here that says that this part of the motion acting or the motion capture, the dinosaur part, is for Tekken 8. So while it very well could be, based on what the article says, It might be for something completely different, like a movie or a game. There are all kinds of things that want to have like raptors in them, so there you go. But it definitely could be Alex, but like a heavily updated take on him, which I think is great because I like these characters. I thought they were fun to play. Like I said, there are great ideas in there, and if you're gonna make like a more sort of grim, dark, and serious version of Tekken with Tekken 8, I think this could work perfectly with the atmosphere. And even the hard asses only want to play Mishimas and Big Buff, you know, cool dudes and nothing funny, nothing cute, we don't like it, might actually enjoy, you know, a sort of bestial sort of dinosaur character. The other character that we saw, or that was sort of leaked or confirmed in this news article, was Yoshimitsu, because we saw a character carrying a katana, and it was sort of the shape of the sort of sword that Yoshi carries, so it could well be him. I don't think that's huge news though, because he's been in every Tekken game ever, and I think he will definitely be in the next one. However, I think Yoshimitsu is one of the characters that is like in the most desperate need for a visual and sort of conceptual update, because he's like a legendary character for the roster, and I think we all want him in. I think he looks great. I think the squid costume is a fun idea for Tekken 7, but the reason I've basically never played him is he feels like a wet towel. All of his moves just feel like, you know, there's no impact, there's no chunk to them at all. It doesn't look like it would hurt to get punched, kicked, or stabbed by him. He doesn't look like a martial artist. He's just kind of jumping around and spinning, and I think making him look like somebody who, yeah, has some like goofy voice lines and goofy moves, but actually can fight would be important. And he's also, you know, been very weak in this game and not very popular, so I think a cool updated take on Yoshi would be great. But you know, we don't know if those two characters that they had in the article were specifically for Tekken 8, even though they were doing motion capture for Tekken 8. And I've talked about this before, how Tekken is a game where a couple of characters really are in need of updated animation specifically. You look at some of the older characters, like I think Nina and Kazuya might be the two best examples. They look really fucking shitty when they move and attack. There's a lot of these, you know, stilt arms, and it looks kind of horrible. But, you know, you look at Kazuya in the trailer where he's fighting Jin in Tekken 8, and it looks so much better. So I think it's a fantastic idea to do motion capture even for legacy characters for this game, and it honestly has me even more excited for Tekken 8 because they're putting in the money and the work to make it look fantastic. And just based on the trailer we already had, we know that broken, easy to do moves like the Electric Wind God Fist are going to be in it, but apart from that, it looks like, you know, extremely ridiculously fantastic, so I'm super happy about that. I just threw in a picture of, that's Alex doing one of his goofy moves. You can tell that this is not like a serious, scary dinosaur looking character, right? He's a joke character, but he was cool. But just a picture of a kind of dromaeosaur that I think is cool. I think this is Austroraptor from a different game, but if they're gonna do Alex in this game, go like full-on bird direction, because it looks so much more visually interesting. You can do stuff with color and make it look really cool. I thought this concept art was great, but if you look at the way he used to look, he's basically got two colors, like black and green, and there are no details. So if you're going to put him in, he needs a huge visual update. And I just thought this was a cool picture or idea of how far you could take it or how creative you could get. You know, not pronating the hands is a problem though. You know, they couldn't really do that, and it's not good for fighting. You couldn't really do this. If you were a raptor, you'd have to fight like that. But yeah, just a short video on that leak. I wanted to clarify what the leaks actually were, because I could read the article and I saw a lot of, you know, people in my Discord who just like thought or assumed that it was confirmed this was all Tekken 8 motion capture. So there you go. Let me know if you want Alex and Yoshi in the new game, your other hopes and thoughts on this, and I'll see you guys again very soon.